Yo, goons, what's good? So today what we're doing is we're looking at various Goldlewis games. There's a Goldlewis community Discord, if you didn't know. Great server. I'll put the link in the description if you don't already know about that. Very active, lots of good resources there. Anyway, today I thought what I could do is get some games from various levels in the Goldlewis Discord and also just existing games out there and just do some backseat gaming. Some analysis, some Goldlewis optimization, let's say. I don't know. I'm just going to look at the games and say what I think I'm seeing and what could be different. And just, let's all try to optimize Goldlewis together. And that's not to say I do everything perfectly. No one does. Even the Goldlewists that perform the best don't do anything near close to as fully optimal as this character can be because he's just very, very layered. It's hard to know to be completely optimal in multiple situations and whatnot, but by looking at replays, hopefully we can get a better idea of what to improve on and what specific things can be made better for specific players. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so Goldlewis Potemkin, round start 684, and there's a bit of wild swinging going on here. Yeah, so the first thing I'm noticing is this pot is choosing like a lot of committal ground options just right off the bat. Just in general in this matchup, you really want to look for super jump JD and work your way in with dash blocking if that's not working. If they're being really telegraphed, you can get away with, like just standing outside of range of their 5H or whatnot and then just taking space after. You're not going to whiff punish it, but you can take space. Now you have some Goldlewis pressure. Yeah, I don't go crazy for using BTs with big gaps against pot, both because of his backdash and because of the fact that he can back throw you, and that's really bad against pot. That's how you can actually lose rounds against this character. Holding Garuda pressure here, pretty bad meter usage by the pot. So I would say in this case, our Goldlewis hero just wants to hold and defend. Could have gotten a much better combo off that 268. We're getting punished for it. It's okay though, you're still up the burst. This round's pretty much over, just don't blow the burst. Yeah, questionable plays from the pot. So I would say just a bit of patience here would help a lot. Here we go, another big combo. Nope, that should really have been a conversion. Even if you couldn't get much, at least 5p run up 684. Gotta be optimizing those counter hits. 5p anti-air it's terrible. That's why you 6p or you 2p. Especially when a character burns their double jump like that. Backdash? Yeah, that was tough. That was more or less a 50-50. You could have tried Super PRC, but that would have been tough. We've got Drone out here. I think you're just being a little preemptive, I think is the issue here. It's a little too preemptive because this Potemkin is very... a little wild with the options they're choosing. You can kind of just dash block in. That's another mistake people make in the Potemkin matchup. You really just want to make sure that you're being patient against this character, especially on defense, because he does have very, very scary offense. Here we go. Yeah, that could have been a close slash pickup right there. It's okay though. And I don't really like the short pressure there. Yeah, against pot, you can afford to try those longer BTs. Even though he has high invul and backdash, the total duration makes it so you can still be plus, even if he backdashes your 486s and 426s. But honestly, you gauge it by the opponent. So like this opponent, I don't think that they would be backdashing properly. So, it's working. And that also means you don't have to go into far slash 684 so early, You really need to gauge what you can get away with early on. And yeah, I just say again, kind of too much impatience on defense. You can punish Mega Fist. So like Mega Fist is a massive commitment for Goldlewis in this matchup. And so that kind of opens up the skies to be yours. Here we go. Now we're dash blocking in. Counter hit far slash. I would have liked to see a 426 there, but that's okay. Even the hard knockdown in the corner is very good as well. Yep. We should all practice jumping on react 6k Garuda. You can sometimes 5p at certain ranges. It'll hit Garuda and like pretty much anything else. It'll Garuda and flick. And of course 6k into nothing. 2p anti-air there again, I think would have worked out well. Here we go. PRC, unfortunate drop. Yeah, the meter to extend it though on the close slash there. So I would say just burn it. PRC? Gold burst. Yeah, I don't know. Into the run-up super. I'm not a great fan of that sequence. I think that you should have been a little more aware of your resources there. You could have RC'd on your whiff and punished the bot. Thinking in the moment can be hard like that, but now you're down a burst, and that could make a big difference. So it can be hard to get on these big buttons. That's why I'm saying you really got to represent Super Jump JD, or just wait a little longer for this guy to whiff and then take the space. Otherwise, it is hard to get on pot. I mean, he does hard outrange you. Again, kind of a 50-50 there. You could have tried backdash BRC. That would have gotten you out of that situation. Hard to know in the moment again, though. So a lot of the time, if you're in this matchup as Goldlewis, you want to be standing around this range, like the tip of pot's 5H range. And because it can't run, you really can't like burst into this range and then choose options. Now, his far slash will cover JD and Super Jump JD pretty well. However, as long as you're standing in this range, pretty much all you have to do is wait for him to whiff. And again, it's very hard to actually whiff punish him at this range. It's very hard to whiff punish, you know, in general, and strive on reaction. It's honestly pretty difficult. There aren't a lot of moves that you can, especially with Goldlewis. But it doesn't really matter because your offense is so good against pot that you really just wait for him to whiff and then take space. And then dash block. Engage what they do after. Are they going to press another button? You know, in this case, the guy you were playing against was doing a lot of this kind of thing. You know, so make sure that you're not letting them get away with that. You can also try representing Raw 684. And again, they should never be mega fisting because of the threat of the 2P punish. And of course, also because of 684 itself. Raw 684 is good against pot because his whiff punishment is mediocre. He doesn't get that much off of it. He pretty much just gets like 5H into slide head or whatever, you know. 5H into hammer fall for some space. It's nothing very good. So, you know, keep all that in mind. But anyway, yeah, let's move on to the next Goldlewis. Okay, now we're looking at Abhorrent Messenger, otherwise known as Czar, on Goldlewis. May matchup, I muted it because there's some copyright music, so hopefully the music this video will be sufficient. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back and look at that again. So what have we got here? Let's take a look at this RPS. So I want to see round start first. 5P. I'm not a big fan. Round start against May is really, really scary for a number of reasons. And honestly, I think it's best to take a pretty defensive approach. But if you want to be offensive against May, the best thing you can do is a micro walk back 5K and then Kara 684. So what that'll do is if they 5K, you'll hit it and the Kara 684 will allow it to connect. 5K trading or hitting their 5K will not normally combo in 684. You have to Kara, right? It'll also beat this 2S, but it can lose to Dolphin. But it will also let you outspace a 5H and a far slash sometimes too. But you have to be careful with those as well. So, you know, if you want to be offensive, I would say stick to that or far slash. 5P, I don't really know what it's intended to be. Maybe Dolphin, but you know, there's a safer way to beat Dolphin on round start that is basically completely non-committal, and that's a delay jump back JD. That can also keep you safe to far slash if you delay it enough. So that's just a bit of my round start philosophy with May. And it can make a big difference. You know, you can end up in this situation and get the games thrown so quickly. Okay, so Dolphin RPS. You want to start taking note of what the Mays are doing right away. So we saw Dolphin into 5K. That means that this May is probably going to choose something aggressive a lot of the time. Especially given that it's Celestial. Yep, there you go. Dolphin into 6P. You would 2K to beat that, but you can't know. H Dolphin. You want to be reacting to that with 2P if you can. Here you go. Good IBs. I'd like to see fuzzy jumps on the 2K stagger, but it is risky against May. But again, you test this with your opponent. Unless you're playing against someone you know is a strong May, that's probably going to work well against them. Another H Dolphin. Taking some aggressive choices on defense, I would say, is this Goldlewis. But we're also seeing a lot of aggressive choices from the May as well. So I would say just be patient and wait for an H Dolphin. Like, you're trying too hard to jump out where it isn't necessary, and that 6H is buying her a ton of plus frames. Oh no. Yeah, again, the way you avoid that is by having proper round star philosophy against May. That's tough. Here we go. Ooh, yeah, that had to be a 684 confirm right there. What is this fella? What are they cooking? Nice. Here we go. This should be a chance for Oki. Drone Oki is good. I like it because the super's up. That's a big punish. Yep. Goes in for the close slash. Very good. I don't agree with the 862 Oki. You had so many resources there. I would have liked to have just seen a meaty 268, which would have been guaranteed to catch backdash and everything, and mashing and whatever. There's no chance of mistiming it, especially with the 5 feet of buffer. Then you use your meter to mix or even chip them out, honestly, with that much of a lead. This is good. This opponent is showing they don't know how to deal with the whiff 5Ps. And of course, they're very strong and a safe jump to finish it off. So not bad, but I would like to see some better decision making on defense and offense. But luckily, you know, this Mei is kind of just killing themselves. So again, JD round start into the whiff burst. I'm not agreeing with these round starts. Yeah, and just like that, I mean, the whole game can be over because Mei gets so ahead there. Risky throw. Very risky throw, sir. If that Mei chose to backdash, they would have still been plus. Here we go, though. Combo. Alright, not bad. Unfortunately, messed up the super. And anti-aired with 2H, but no pickup. You have a chance here. Just be patient. Do not take a risk. That was a bit of a risk, but it worked out. No. No OTG there. That should have been just run up and take your turn or go for a fake cross up. JK, I guarantee that would have worked on this player. And you're fishing too hard for gun here. It's a little too obvious that you're playing back, so just stand your ground. Blocking Mei right there, blocking their far slash is not particularly threatening. What are they going to do? H-Dolphin, you react and kill them. S-Dolphin, they basically risk their life on the RPS afterwards. I mean, not the end of the world. We're seeing a lot of far slash here to control the JD space. That's pretty common from Mei. One way you can deter that. There we go. Nice meterless fuzzy, but did not fully confirm it. Not meterless, but I mean no overhead setup. Could have Kara supered to kill there, but I don't blame you. I don't always do that. I barely ever do that. 684 PRC. I don't love the meter use there. I think round start beam honestly wouldn't have been bad. And here we go. Once again, this Mei showing they don't know how to deal properly with the whiffs into high-low. Okay. That drone could have been mashed on. You have to be careful setting drone mid-screen like that, especially against 4-framers. And especially against characters with really good jump mobility like Mei. They can jump out of it really early. Oh, no. Not like this. You're going to have burst. That was a extremely risky burst. Extremely risky, but it happened to work out. I would definitely say let the wall break rock there. And keep the burst for after, and maybe fish for like burst beam when you're on full security. That's a good way to close out rounds against low HP opponents. Okay, moving on. That would have been a close slash pickup. Good. Could have tried baiting the burst there. I don't think it would have been too bad. I think you're using a little bit too much JD, honestly. It's not particularly amazing against Mei, both because of Up Dolphin and that far slash. I mean, look, I'm not seeing enough raw 684s either. It's really, really good against Mei. You adapt with the 6P, so that's good. But I think the neutral is a little too telegraphed here. You know, the Mei's kind of getting away with whatever she wants. She drops this combo, so that's okay. She can RC. Yep. That was corny. And that was not a safe jump from Mei. That could have been most likely 6P'd, if not reversal supered. And I would have liked to see close slash 268 there. That's okay though. I understand you were going for pressure, but you got that close slash hit. I'll take it though. You know, you had meter, so RC when you realize you get the hit and you're not doing normal pressure. Here we go. Nice. A little bit of mistiming there. I think you had time to just get a 268 median. You don't always have to be right in their face to go for it. And here we go. Let's see if we could have come up with some burst safe routing here. Okay. So right here, you can already be expecting a burst. Honestly, if you really wanted to be that guy, you could have just supered right after landing this JD. Or this close slash. But our seeing on this close slash is very good. But you get this 268. So I would have said on either the close slash or the 268, probably the close slash would have been better. Or even the JD itself. Up RC. And then around the spacing, you can usually land at 426. And then probably 2H, 426, or 2H gun. And then pick up after that. Would have been burst safe. But it works out. It's also very, very hard to burst close slash 2H after you up RC. So keep that in mind for burst safety as well. Generally, you just want to be looking for, you know, when you can kill as much as possible. Just consider all your conversions and all your ways to make things burst safe. And if you want safe ways to be burst safe, yeah, up RC in the corner is generally very, very good and hard to burst. You know, that kind of thing is very important. And also just like general tip for burst safety, if you want something pretty much guaranteed, you can actually super after a 426, and that's like completely burst safe. Or rather, they literally have to know that super is coming. And look how much damage that is. Anyway, yeah, just general ideas for the Mei matchup are to really, it depends on the Mei, but I'm just going to say for any opponent, and we can go back to the pod on this, you really want to gauge how well they can deal with the basic strong counterplay. Because it's true that doing real things, quote unquote, is better in general. But when we say those kinds of things, the context we're talking about is at like top levels of play where people really understand everything there is to know about Goldlewis, or a lot to know about Goldlewis. And so you can't get away with this kind of thing, you know, or like this kind of thing. But against weaker opponents, you know, like in Celestial, for example, you really, really want to test the strong things out on your opponent. And quickly, even strong opponents that don't have Goldlewis experience, I apply the same mindset and see how much you can get away with. Like raw 486s is a really big one. Like, especially on knockdown. And of course, you know, the whiffs are very good if they're not dealing with it. And honestly, it's pretty important to be able to condition your opponent into thinking things are real when they're not, if they don't have that much experience. But yeah, in terms of the matchup specifically, again, I like raw 684 a lot in this matchup because it is pretty hard for Mei to get something meaningful off of whiff punish, and it can also deter her from using her insane air mobility and very strong disjoints in neutral. And then that opens up a little bit more of the footsies game. You can play around with far slash and JD more than that. But if you're just trying to play grounded with far slash and JD here and there as well, it's kind of hard. So those would be my tips. You can also kind of turtle in this matchup because drone is solid against Mei unless they really know what to do about it. I'm not going to say what they should really do about it for our sake, but you know, that's kind of a TLDR. I would say the most important things against any character, not just Mei, but with Goldlewis in general, is to not get too antsy in neutral and on defense, because we win so hard on offense. You know, you really don't want to fumble the bag when you're you know, put in situations where you're not in advantage. So keep that in mind. Okay, cool. So now we're looking at, I believe, an EMEA Goldlewis called Variety against a Happy Chaos. I'm not sure if I can get this to go any higher quality because it is a Twitter video, but that's okay. This matchup is very hard. So far, Variety doing a nice job of dash blocking though, but even just one error can mess you up. If you suspect a steady aim there coming out right away, I think run up far slash is going to be faster a lot of the time than run up JD. Just because of the startup, it's effectively 19 frames on JD. And the extra forward advancement you get from it in range, I don't think justifies the difference. I think you could dash up and get far slash out, cover the same range faster. And that's actually what darkrai does a lot in this matchup, who I consider the best Goldlewis. And now you're just kind of screwed. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is why the matchup blows ass. Yeah, your best chance there was basically like dash block and close the distance, or try to backdash a steady aim shot and get beam out on high security. I think you could have 5p68 forward right there for a knockdown, but that's okay. Okay, we got the burst. This is huge. We're making our way in. Good stuff. Low resources, so keep that in mind. Very good. Yeah, a conversion there I think could have killed a 426, but you're still in a good spot. Nice running. Drone. Now we let him out there. Let's go back. Let's go back for a second and break this down. So we've got Dronoki. First off, this opponent seems to have demonstrated they can react to the overhead decently. So I would say just go for the low here. Get your plus frames because there's very little meter and no burst. So even if your 842 gets blocked, right? This is offensive philosophy here. You're going to be able to secure a lot of chip damage. You can also threaten a true strike throw from that 842, by the way, because it's so plus. You can from the 862 as well, and that's pretty important to establish against Chaos. You don't want him to get comfortable with just blocking Chaos, okay? But not only that, you would have bought yourself time for burst. So even if you mess up here, you could have bursted him right back into the corner and had the advantage. And you could have just done a pretty safe string and built a lot of meter, or chose to greed your pressure. You know, in either case, it's very, very good. You know, that's why I would have chosen the low here. Also, much less pushback. Look how far we are against Chaos now. This opens you up to potentially far slash, unless you're going to commit to 2k, in which case the Chaos can threaten jumps, and that's exactly what happens. It's exactly what happens. and now you're in big trouble. And bursting back into the corner, not bad. We're very plus there on the 684, so I would have liked to have seen a little more aggressive run-up option there. The way you beat Chaos is by being extremely aggressive against him on offense, because it's so unfavorable on defense and neutral. You cannot let him play the game. You cannot. And the risk reward for him is not great on defense. So play off that. Not doing too bad. JD maybe trying to call out a curse. This Chaos does not want to interact with you at all. Yeah, maybe... You know, I think just waiting out the clone wouldn't have been too bad right there. In Nooch, there's no need to rush him down like that immediately. But playing near the clone is very dangerous. That lets him kind of throw out normals with impunity. And now we're in the corner. And now it's GG. So we didn't get to see the end of that last one, but we can only assume how it ended. Just either died off the wall break or died immediately after. But so far, I will say, you're not getting opened up by a lot of mix, which I think you want to be the case against Chaos. You only want to be getting opened up by, like, mix-ups. You know, if you're getting opened up a lot by just, like, normal shots and resource management and, you know, choosing the wrong spots and you know, being overly aggressive on defense, I think that's how you can really make it hard on yourself in this matchup, because I'm going to be honest, the neutral doesn't get any better at any level of play and with any level of knowledge. It's absolutely horrendous and very Chaos favored. So you really need to not be messing up on defense. It's understandable to get opened up by roll and, you know, by fuzzies and whatnot and by metered uses. But to get opened up just by trying to contest his resources, you want to try to get to a place where that's not happening as much if you can. /round start, good choice against Chaos. Now we're getting zoned. Yep, make sure that dash block is clean. A lot of resources burned right there. Making our way in. And there's a throw. This is a tough spot. This mid-range is so hard for Chaos. The best thing you can do is try to get a read on their timing and run up with a /. Right? Right, even though... Okay, nice BRC. I think he might have been able to punish the backdash there. Good. Getting a little greedy with the pressure, and we're in. And we're in. Tries to bait the burst and gets back thrown. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. I could see the burst bait. It's not a bad choice, given that you were going to generate meter and could have gone for a mix-up, but... Man, you just got to be airtight on that. JK, man. He was confident you were going to JD. Backdash that steady aim if you can. All right. Reacting to those up-close steady aims is pretty important. And again, I'm not seeing a ton of mix from the Chaos here. Right? Maybe some strike throw, but with good fuzzy timings, you can, for most Chaoses, alleviate some of that. But, you know, I didn't see any, like, instant overheads. I didn't see any dusts or anything. So, in this case, again, I would say you're getting a little antsy on defense. We've got one more game here between Soul and Variety. Definitely some of the core ideas are there for this matchup, especially like offensive philosophy is pretty important, I would say, against him, to get very aggressive. But, you know, some issues with the cleanliness of the dash block and the defense, I think, which, to be fair, again, it's very hard. Run up 6 speed is way too committal in this matchup. I would not recommend that unless you're making a hard // read. Zoning. Yeah, low bullets there. That was your chance. Steady aim is 20 frames, so I mean, you can dash block and react to steady aim. It's difficult though, you definitely need to lab that. I can react block when they go for the steady aim and take distance when it's not happening. That's a really important step in this matchup, I would say. There we go, we're going deep. That's what I like to see. So this Chaos player is very, very, very defensive. Again, kind of just getting randomly hit there. Can't be having it. Especially when you're building meter, you could have at least looked for like a fast BRC JD to close the distance or something, or maybe a beam. And 6/round start. Hard read on curse, probably. Not bad if you're really confident they're going to do it, but... Yeah, running deep again. It's this fine balance, because you want to make sure you're not going only forward against Chaos in neutral. Because otherwise he'll just hit you with his buttons as soon as you're in range, his massive buttons. And now we're cooked. Yeah, beam, that's not going to be safe. You are... Count your lucky stars you didn't die there. My god. Going for the full combo. Oh, tragic drop. Yeah, picking up Let's take a look at this one more time. First off, I cannot believe you didn't die to this beam. Watch how many RNG shots miss. 1, 2, 3. 3 shots. This dude should have kept shooting. But yeah, unfortunately, Chaos seemed to try something during this gapless string. Maybe backdash or whatever. So we get the side switch. And you go for the full combo. Not a bad choice, but I personally wouldn't have been sure if this would have splattered or not. I probably would have just close slash car 268'd. And then maybe against this Chaos, I would have tested them with OTG 2K running 862, 842. That's very good against Chaos. So what would have been good here is a close slash into slight delay to let it charge level 2 drone. Go for running 862 or 842. Running 862 worked before against this guy, and they represent jump. So if they block that on jump, they're super negative. In fact, you can get like a JS into gapless IED JD and pick up pressure from there. But unfortunately it drops, and just like that, it's doomed. Yeah, very, very sad stuff, unfortunately. So the biggest issues that I saw are, number one, above and beyond is definitely the defense. Definitely try not to get preemptive against Chaos. It's really scary. It is. But you need to look at what they're doing. You know, if they're not going for a lot of true mix-ups, if they really are comfortable with just running relatively safe pressure that just sustains their resources and gets them out so they can go back to zoning, that's okay. Honestly, we take those. The scarier Chaoses are the ones that do like the real mix-ups in your face against Goldlewis. And this one isn't. So I would say there's no need to really preemptively try doing grimy stuff like mashing or jumping or whatever. No, just having a good idea of when to contest the resources is also important. And other than that, I would say it's just a matter of making sure you lock them down once you're in and choosing the right options and making that choice every time and testing the Chaos on how much can you get away with against them. You know, what do they know is real? What do they not know is real? I've beaten the best Chaoses in the world by testing them on things that I know are fake, but because I tested them and learned that they don't know how to properly deal with them, I'm able to take games and take sets. So bear all that in mind. Hopefully that gives some insight on the Chaos matchup, but man, this is rough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not particularly amazing at it either, okay? Alright. Now let's watch Cheryo versus mfcr, both good friends of mine. So I haven't gotten a chance to watch this. This is from a recent big offline tournament, CEO. I think it had like 400 something entrants, so definitely a really solid size. And Cheryo had a great placement, 9th. Shoutouts to him. Excellent job. But I wanted to watch this set because I have experience against mfcr in tournament. I happen to have a winning record, but it's close every time. So I'm curious how this broke down. So Cheryo stylistically has a very solid playstyle and very much like a read base isn't the right word, download based style, I would say. You know, a lot less grimy than me, and I think also a little, you know, significantly less, you know, flashy and tech oriented. Respectfully, Cheryo, respectfully. Not that that's a bad thing inherently. Yeah, this is the sad part about the layout matchup. We're already in the corner. He can just harass us so hard with the far slash and the 5H. His buttons are very, very hard to contest. Now we're stuck in the corner. This is very standard Leo stuff so far. You know, could just as easily happen to darkrai or me or anyone, or Nuppers or whoever. mfcr kind of fishing for that's huge. mfcr kind of fishing for a throw whiff there. And just close slash into nothing bait. Not bad when there's full meter. I like it actually. A little risky to go for that landing 684 when there's the threat of the reversal super here, but Cheryo playing well around it. And mfcr showing that he's having trouble dealing with the spacing, but finally sends the super. It was coming sooner or later. Hold on, there's a chance here. And the 2D, yeah. mfcr was, I think, looking to call out a gun there. I would have gotten hit by that most likely too. That was a very spooky burst option. I definitely think the counter hit confirms, you know, getting maximum value is always great. Getting those 486s and whatnot. Looking for a gold burst but not finding it, but it's okay. mfcr, 2 churns, 1 churn works fine. 2 churns probably wouldn't have killed, but a lot more damage. Anyway, mfcr, he tends to let you do a little more than you should, especially once you show that you're respecting DP, in my experience. But you know, he's an amazing player, so you have to expect things to adapt. Not sure what got hit there on the round start, but 5k isn't bad. It clashes with 2S, but a lot of the times the Leos aren't ready for it. Stuck in the corner against Leo. Oh, actually, it's broken against Leo. I mean, this game's doomed. Oh my god. Yeah. So it's very important to represent JD a lot in this matchup, right? Until you get them 6Ping. Very important. You can't really do raw 684 because Leo whiff punishment is amazing. Playing the grounded game, you will lose against Leo if you're not holding your ground, if you're not representing buttons. Even though it is scary, you do have to take risks in the neutral in this matchup, in my opinion. There we go. There's a 5k. Nice adjustment. Okay. We're in there. Safe jump setup. And mfcr backdashes it. Make sure you're OSing those against a player like him at this level, and you want to have your OSs down. Here we go. Drone. 684. 624. 684 might have reached. Trying to bait a DP again, but I'm not sure about that. I think drone might be negative enough for you to get punished there. Don't quote me on that. By SDP at least. Let's take a look back here. Let's take a look what happened here. So we're in the lead, right? Off this 5k, if you're baiting, right? In my opinion, why not just do 5k 6-6 BRC forward, right? Right here, you can do a 5k 6-6 BRC gapless 248. So if he was trying to DP as you suspected, which is what you were doing by this call out, right? He would have gotten hit by that, and you could have gotten a full combo off of it, and even killed potentially if he didn't want to spend the burst here. And as well, even if they blocked it, you could have gone for another high-low, including the 862 rather, to interrupt the charge, and then you can get some pressure started from there. So I think this was a good opportunity for spending some meter. Unfortunately, no, even though you didn't opt for that, you get what you wanted here, and you get the anti-air. It didn't convert, and that's just unfortunate. That was a hard conversion. He would have had to do 2p 684 immediately. Maybe 2p 684 or 2p 5p would have worked there. Yeah, small things like that can make the difference when you're at a really high level like this. Beam, alright, I don't mind it. Immediate DP from mfcr. So I think maybe during the recovery 624 here, you could have gone for an 862 or 486 or an 842 or whatever. Probably would have been worth a try, but this round was hard to win from here. You had meter, so I mean, if those hit, you could have forced the burst for sure, which would have been a decent outcome for that round. Nice throw, beautiful reaction. Don't let him do that. Another backdash from mfcr. Okay. Oh my god, mfcr just YOLO DP. Nice, out of the corner. Very good. Very good. It's a big punish here. Very standard stuff. Nice combo. The question is, how could you have optimized this? If you get the close slash starter, close slash 486 or close slash 426 are not bad. You know, in these cases, I'm not sure if you could have gotten the bounce from close slash 426 here. But generally, those are better because you can get, you know, more BTs in your combo. You can maybe get 2 426 bounces. And with gun, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there might have been a route to kill from here. So it looks to me that mfcr was around 60%. I don't think you can get a killing combo off this, but let's just see what we can cook up. There we go. That should do it. Yep, gun combo there would have done it. Okay. So generally, if you have opponents on low HP, especially, well, relatively low HP, like Leo, you want to try to get gun out very early in your combo. So in this case, the philosophy is pretty straightforward. Close slash 486, close slash gun. It's the earliest I can get it out. And low HP and counter hit starter like that is the perfect time for it. You know, it's very, very good if you can. So notice I only do it after 3 hits. And of course, the pickup with the 268 so that I can get the running 1080 afterward. I delayed it a little bit there just while I was explaining, but no. Optimizing your combos, especially recognizing the gun, you know, when you can kill with gun opportunities when they're low HP. Very important stuff. And Miguel, mfcr, had burst here, right? So if he's going to burst, he's going to burst. So I say, just go for the gun combo anyway. There's no downside. They're not getting their burst refilled. And even if they do, it's worth winning the round. So anyway, back to the video. Cheryo here opts for a very standard combo instead. And that's okay. That's honestly okay. The Oki here, that's standard stuff. Little bit of a late clash cancel though. And Miguel actually showing that he knows to DP right there. Or maybe he doesn't. I honestly don't know. I'm giving him credit. And then after that, what happens? Yeah. Well, that's going to happen. That shit's annoying. Especially if you have drone layers, they're going to be looking for that. Backdash beam, not bad. Okay. In the end, he won the round, so combo didn't end up making a whole lot of a difference. Bit of lag there. On the video, it seems. By the way, this is why I like card 268 generally off close slash instead of 486. Unless you're really confident you're going to get a block. If you do get a pickup, you'll be able to combo off of it. See what we could have done here. Same thing as before. Yeah, same thing as before. Back RC or up RC. Back RC 426, up RC, you know, close slash 2H268. All those would have sufficed. Instead, cheryo opts to burst it. Let's hope it doesn't bite him in the end. Doesn't. Good stuff. I mean, a lot of the time that won't make a huge difference if you're really ahead like that, but it can make a difference at this level. mfcr is clutch. Very, very, very good player. All right. 6H pressure and we're in the corner. I hate this about Leo. Like, why can he bully us so hard and push us to the corner? Makes the matchup annoying. Burst gun. I would have liked to see a drone there, but you know, I can understand and respect it. But now this round is cooked. There's an argument to be made for not bursting back there, honestly. Because if you had burst right now, you'd be in a pretty decent spot. Again, trying to bait the burst. Or a DP or something, or a YRC with close slash and nothing. Not bad because it's plus. Oh, pressure flubbed here a little bit. And instead of the hard knockdown here, I would have preferred a close slash drone reset. This is fine too, though. It's just after that followed. These are just my personal thoughts, by the way, so you know. Could go either way. Even here, you could have done a throw. That probably would have caught him off guard right here. Nice RC. Ah, yeah. Fuzzy jump would have been the only answer there, but even then, you leave yourself in a 50-50, more or less. Very, very unfortunate turn of events. I can only assume that was a misinput. Got crossed up JH. Nice block. Beautiful. Overhead sneaks through, though. And again. And this game's probably over. Leo's momentum is crazy. Chance here, though. Safe jump. Very good. Gets away with a throw. We'll take it, though. Honestly. Classic. Absolute classic Goldlewis setup there. I'm not so sure about the meter usage here, though. I think you probably should have held it for a mix-up or tried to find a way to go into super there. Nice blocks. Nice blocks. Yeah, another back turn S. So we're seeing back turn S, but not really into delay back turn H. So it's very scary to contest. Because that's the only option you really can contest. I mean, contesting stance cancel off of it is a big risk. And trying to backdash it is also a big risk. Because he's doing back turn S and then nothing. He can backdash, or he can dash forward and back turn S again. And a lot of the time, because we have a slower backdash, that'll work out. Miguel shutting down the song choice? What's going on here? He's saying, no way, we're not doing that song. What was he choosing? Jacko theme? I don't blame you, bro. I don't like it either. I know Cheryo started bringing it back after this, though, so Maybe it was just bait. Let's see what happens. Nice. Fuzzy throwing, very risky, I would say. I prefer fuzzy jumping in these situations, but that's also risky because a player like mfcr will call out the fuzzy jump timings. But that hasn't been happening so far. You gotta show him that you're fuzzy jumping first. Even then, it's very hard to execute. So, safe jump. Messes it up a little bit. Maybe trying to OS, but not blocking in between. Because, again, mfcr also backdashed earlier on some of these. There we go. Burst drone, and we're back in it. Oh, no, we can't be letting him jump over like this. I say 5p, right when you see him jump like this, or 6p, or 2p. I mean, anything. Don't let him do this. You know, you could have forced him to land and safe jabbed as well on his landing. That would have baited YRC and DP. Forced him to RC or spin burst potentially. Instead, we're cooked. Still winnable though. Still very winnable. I mean, it's just really one interaction away. The RC, I like it. Not a bad choice. Nice block. Nice block again. Here we go. Sensitive spot. That's more or less a guessing game here. I very much respect not picking an aggressive choice here. 2S into run-up throw is pretty greedy by mfcr. That definitely could have backfired. Just got away with it this time. Not bad. Oh, what a whiff punish. Beautiful. And the grab. Safe jump. I don't know what mfcr was mashing, but he was mashing something. And this round should be over. Fuzzy setup. Nice. I think that overhead was a little obvious there. Most people don't know about the low option Goldlewis has there. 2K close slash 268. That would have been my choice in that situation, but it is 50-50, so you know. I don't think Miguel would have known. Miguel being mfcr, of course. Epic name, by the way. It all works out. I like it. Now we're representing more JD, and it's working out. In my experience with mfcr, that tends to do well. That stagger pressure. Oh, so tragic. That stagger pressure is just so hard to deal with. Leo in the corner. Past a certain point, you kind of just have to swing something and hope it works. Goldlewis gaming occurred. Let's see what happened here. Back throw incident on the Miss Meaty. Drone, this is a classic. Sending it is fine. I know I personally would have baited YRC or burst there. And I would have lost. Trying to bait the burst here, and I must have been some misinputs on mfcr's part. Don't know what happened there. We take those, though. We take those. We take this. It was an absolute robbery. Look at his face. Look at Cheryo's face. Same. I can't believe it either, bro. Okay. Back in there. The delay JD was not delayed enough. Can make that a pseudo safe jump, kind of. That's what I like to do, honestly. I also like that round start against Leo from time to time, and against everyone if it. Oh, that is disgusting. I'm not even sure if you can throw this actually, because the guard crush is so plus. One sec. Yeah, so it's iffy. So that guard crush is like plus 21, and the cross up is like 23 frames, 23 to 25 frames in that range. So throwing that from here is a really tough check. That's very hard. You'd have to be super ready for it. Nice block. Good adjustment there from Cheryo, and not biting on the throw baits either. Yep, very good. Pulls out the drone. I like it. Huge momentum shift here. Goes for the drone Oki. Nice try. I can't believe that 2K wasn't gapless. That's tragic. We have the chance there. Nice. That's going to force the burst. And mfcr not bursting. Come on, bro. Surely. That is just tragic. Let's take a look at the last few bits of that round as well. One more time. Alright, what happened here? We're in the corner. Get the drone out. Tries to DP in that gap. Nope. Now we have Oki. Drone. I would honestly just YOLO 2K 862 here. Because it would have splatted and you had the meter to kill. But I mean, it's very risky. Could just as well have gotten DP'd. Huh? Yeah, that's just so sad. All that because your 2K didn't connect gapless. I can't believe it didn't, man. That's just scam. 46 would have been big right there. Nice gold burst. Beautiful. Here we go. mfcr not blocking the overhead. Definitely a charging, you know, a charge enjoyer. Also not looking to DP here. Really? You mash mfcr? That was so smart. It's cooked. Nice not biting, man. Very patient cheryo. But unfortunately, Leo's corner pressure is just so good in non-back turn, so past a certain point, you just have to hope. Yeah. A nice try by Cheryo, who again ultimately had a very good performance at this tournament. 9th place. Excellent. But that came down to very small interactions, unfortunately. Going the way of mfcr. I think in a run back it could easily go either way. But hopefully we learned something from that. Alright. So now we're watching Darkrai Marvelo. This is from Combo Breaker. I was here. I'm somewhere over here watching it. I don't know. I got 33rd at this tournament, and Darkrai, I believe, got 17th. Made it like a round or two further than I did. Excellent showing for Goldlewis Bros. Nuppers as well in the top 48 with us, so we did really well. We're happy with it. But man, this was definitely the one opponent you don't want to... I mean, seriously, the single opponent you don't want to run into the most in this entire bracket is Marvelo as Goldlewis. Him or Nubenheimer, I would say. And fun fact, Darkrai lost to both of those guys, unfortunately. I'm gonna turn you down a bit, Yipes. I'm sorry. So this matchup is a struggle. I really don't fully understand it, so let's just see what we can learn from Darkrai. Darkrai, the best Goldlewis overall in pretty much every regard. I mean, easily much above the rest of us. Little fuzzy 2P action there on the IV. Marvelo blowing the burst. Throwing out some active buttons. And Darkrai being really aggressive in the neutral, but getting away with it. Like, I can say against Marvelo, that's very, very hard. Getting away with those 2S's, not getting the whiff, that is superior understanding of spacing and timing and positioning. It's crazy hard against Marvelo. And by the way, Darkrai had really not been playing that much going into this. So impressive what that man is capable of. Has these IBs on lock, playing beautifully, but that's a setup from Chipp to catch jump outs. Can also threaten the overhead there, get them to hit more or less same frame, fast PRC. Execution checks though. At that time Darkrai was right. Let me get the beam out here. Oh, I hate this OTG beam. High key smart to get hit by BT there. I doubt that was intentional, but if it was, good stuff to Marvelo. Also a homie, by the way. And this round is Jober. Joe Warita. See the round start here. Darkrai opting for something a little aggressive. Jump in. I don't know what to do in round start against Chipp. I feel like just rolling over and letting him have it is not great. So, especially early in the set, establishing that you're willing to do something isn't bad. And a 2D counter hit that close might have given you 426. Ooh, that's dead. Yeah, straight into the super. Beautiful. So this is what I was saying earlier, right? You really want to be thinking about when you can get the kill and just lock in on it immediately. It's crucial in these harder matchups where you can't afford to let them slip out. Darkrai, very good at that kind of thing. Making it hard for Chipp to approach, but also having good spacing at the same time. It's so hard to do. I mean, Marvelo is phenomenal. Phenomenal movement, phenomenal neutral. So Darkrai doing such a good job of staying active. And we're in. Yep. Checking him on the 2K. Very good. Knowledge checks here. You see what I mean? This is exactly the kind of thing I was talking about earlier. Exactly. Right? I haven't watched this set since Combo Breaker, so it's pretty interesting to see again. We gotta hold all this, unfortunately. No, it is very rough once you're on defense, but Darkrai willing to use his health as a resource. Take some aggressive risks if he must. And make it hard for the chips to run offense as best you can by hitting your IBs and whatnot. Look at this. Ay, positive bonus though. Nothing you can do about that, really. Maybe trying to build, you know, reason he wasn't FDing. Get to 50 and try to YRC or something, but it's tough. Darkrai has the mentality that any round is winnable from any position, so it's champion's mentality. Nice mix up. Checking him on the cross up. Good. Get the drone out. Marvelo. Yep. Tries to jump over there, and Darkrai correctly covering it. Very hard to do against Chipp, by the way, especially because of JH, but don't tell the Chips about that. Marvelo tried to air probably with JK. Here we go. Some chip pressure. You gotta hold a mix up. We're just sending it. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea to send it here. Honestly. Because you see this Rekka 1 and it's like, alright. Fast PRC 2K, you've done it like the last 3 times. And Rekka 1 into Rekka 3 is what's much harder to block than Rekka 2 into Rekka 3. So I mean, not a bad idea. And honestly, he was right too. Marvelo did not sit still and block. He backdashed, but XD, chip backdash. Because he is negative after Rekka 1. I mean, Ram Super probably would have hit him there. Just saying. Thank God we didn't get fully whiff punished there. Yeah. That was a cool setup by Marvelo. That was pretty sick. But tough stuff. Very, very close game. Doing this well against Chipp, by the way, going even is winning. That means you're gapping. Respectfully, Marvelo. So, I mean, even though that was a loss, a close loss, we're still happy about that. Opting to burst. High HP. Bursting early is not bad. Oh, unfortunately not getting a punish on that DP. This was an awkward one to punish. Look at this. I'm not even really sure if you could have punished that. This is so awkward, but Darkrai really wanted to side switch here. Maybe you could have, excuse me. Meaty 2P would have just gotten the DPR seed though. So that's just a tough spot and a testament to show that Marvelo has a good understanding of what to do. Oh, that was punishable. Marvelo not recognizing it. So using the plus frames from the Air 5P there, like we were talking about earlier, to get something started. Just like that, we force burst. We can force a mix up here too. There it is. There's the round. Yep. I will say I don't really love Darkrai's meter usage when it comes to mix. But because his neutral and defense are so good, it puts way more mental pressure on the opponent. So he gets away with, you know, less advanced mix-ups, I would say, way more than the rest of us do. There's another one of those fast PRC 2Ks from Marvelo, like I was talking about earlier. And Darkrai opting to burst him into the corner. Good stuff. Huge momentum shift here. He's dead. Is he dead? That's a 720. No, not dead. I don't think 1080 would have done it either. So first of all, note that Darkrai didn't go for close slash 2H426, and the reason why, there was a throws worth of wall damage here, right? So if he did, it would have splatted immediately. And this still would have been very good damage. Similar to the route that he did, but still not quite optimal. Yeah, it's pretty hard to find a route that actually would have killed without gun here. So I think what Darkrai did was actually pretty close to optimal. Recognizing a lot more than I gave him credit for initially, which goes to show that Darkrai is in fact the best Goldlewis. Knows that he can't really go for the full wall bounce combo there, and so tries to get the super out early in the combo. Smart. Very smart what he does. For the sake of argument, a gun combo probably would have been optimal here, but doing this properly in the moment, pretty damn hard. So let's just go back, see what's happening here. In the end, we have determined that this was a good choice by Darkrai, effectively optimal. Good enough. Getting a kill there would have been impossible, from what I can tell. Maybe some crazy route would have done it. And gun call out on the backdash. Big lead here with meter. Just gotta play slow. But Chipp can bring it back so easily. It's tough. Now you're in the corner. Yeah, full meter. Just send it. Wow, and marvelo choosing to burst? Crazy. Good stuff. Good stuff by darkrai. He's been doing a lot of forward movement out of the corner in those spots, so a nice bait there. Beautiful. We're playing 2K gaming, I should say. It is key, though, in this matchup because of its limited recovery. One of the few things Chipp can't on-react with punish. And this is Chipp gaming. You have meter building, so we'll see how darkrai uses it. Personally, I'm cooked in this spot. I'm definitely not winning from here. He's probably trying to save it, like for the middle of the positive pressure, where marvelo can't just continue it after. And finds a way to bring this back from the brink. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful by darkrai. And blocks the alpha blade, yeah. Just superior defense there. Knowing exactly when to time, you know, his defensive options so that marvelo can't take his momentum back. Unfortunately, that 684 a little too far. Otherwise, that probably would have been it. A mix-up right there. Very unfortunate. I do remember one thing that happened this set. You guys will know it when you see it. 2K again. marvelo waited. He knew that time. And we're in the corner. Look out for Gamma Blades. That's pretty much all you can do here. Look out for Gamma Blades and concentrate on IBing the Rekkas. Other than that, your only choices are take an extremely unfavorable guess. Try IBFD as well. No 2P there. So let's go back for a sec. This was your one chance to get out, and at this range, you might have been able to 2P 684. That could have caused a huge momentum shift. You have to be looking for Gamma Blades in the corner. darkrai, you know, is better, but you know, that would have been ideal here. Almost a gold burst. marvelo opting to play very safe while the drone is out, but you managed to take him all the way to corner for that. Goes for a reset. Probably a misinput here. This dash cancel. This was probably supposed to be a car 268 or 862. And that might have splatted into 1080 for massive damage. I'm sure that was meaty what he did, but you know, it's Chipp. They're gonna DP right there. Probably that one coming down to a misinput, that round at least. Still, phenomenal play by darkrai. Phenomenal. And here we go again, representing that JD pretty well. And that 2S, those active buttons, those disjoints, making it hard for Chipp to approach without being overly committal by mixing in a good amount of 2K as well. Making it hard for Chipp to know what you're going to do. And we're in. Again, the meter use there, I don't go crazy for it. Oh, no. DP actually... Oh, beautiful. Beautiful on-react jump. That would have had to be been JD to punish, but I mean, my god, darkrai is just so on it. It's amazing. And if you're darkrai here, you really have the fear factor on your side right now. A nice crosscut 6P. Great. Yep, pull out the gimmicks. It's game 5. marvelo OSing. Maybe 6PFD OSing that. Which is what you should do, but don't tell them that. Super PRC. Yeah, it's game 5. Pull out all the gimmicks, my man. Oh, the 486 misinput. That could have been it, potentially. He would have been in such a good position. An amazing block on the 6K darkrai. Ready for it, as always. And nice reaction from marvelo. Good stuff. Darkrai getting a little preemptive there to get out of the corner. And I remember the ending was such a heartbreaker here. Observe. I think it happens around here. So darkrai whiffs his burst and gets charged as punished. You'd think it's over, right? 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 But right there, crucial burst bait opportunity missed by Darkrai. Crucial. And at top level, I can tell you, like, a lot of the time, top players are looking for these kinds of bursts. But you know what? I think he gave Marvelo too much credit. I think he did not believe that Marvelo would actually burst this. Now, we could have back thrown here, but that would have been tough. 2P is not a bad choice at all. Man. Just the fact that Marvelo actually bursted here is insane. Because he would have gotten the side switched into giga damage into a corner with no burst, no meter against Goldlewis. And Goldlewis would have had meter. This right here could have easily been set defining. But Marvelo sent it. And that's the timeline we live in. Darkrai's such a nice guy, by the way. Both of them. Alright. Well, that's going to do it for this one, goons. Hopefully we all learned something from it. I definitely learned some stuff from watching it. And I don't want this to come across as like backseat gaming. I'm just trying to do like public coaching. That's all I'm trying to do. So if you guys want to see more of this kind of thing, let me know. I'd be down. It's fun to make. It's very fun to make. But with that being said, I have genuinely no clue when my next upload will be. I mean, actually no clue. It's essentially random, but I am going to Evo. So hopefully that will finally be the one they put me or Darkrai on a stream. This was the first time Darkrai was on stream at a major, by the way. Making 9th at Frosty and not making it on stream once. By the way, we had to mirror in top 24. Or I'm sorry, when was it? I think a little before top 48, Darkrai and I, and it was a super close game 5. It would have been a banger, absolute banger stream match, but they didn't put it on. So if their TO's watching, make something happen. Anyway, that's all from me, goons. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We'll see you later.